So actually, at the moment we're in one giant arena in which there's quite a lot at stake. And this sense of that there is something that is at stake is, I think, characterizing for meta-modern times. And that sense was lost in post-modern times, where everything seemed to go very swell, economically, politically, everything seems stable, at least from a Western perspective. And now again we have this feeling again that there's something at stake. And I think the battleground, where you see this and where it's actually the most important, is empathy, you could say. And there should be some kind of politics of empathy at the moment. It is there, but it's not as dominant as I would like to see it. And I also don't mean this in a very naive way, that we should be empathetic with everything and no one. That's impossible. It's some kind of credible, appealing, leftist, progressive narrative about empathy and the limitations of empathy and what we can hope for in terms of cohabitation on this planet in the future, the possible future, if there is still a future. That is something that is slowly starting to emerge, but is not as dominant as I would like to see. Maybe that is because this politics of empathy at the moment is lacking pathos, you could say. A pathos that binds things together from a progressive stance and progressive point of view. I'm not entirely sure, again this is just speculating on top of my head, but I think that empathy comes from pathos, and M I think stands for binding together. Yes, there is politics of empathy, but it's rather weak and badly articulated, I would say, and it could do with a bit more pathos, and that is something that progressive people can learn definitely from right-wing conservative politicians, right? We could also do with a bit of more pathos in terms of populist rhetorics that are based on a progressive outlook on what it means to be human today, what it means to live together on this planet with all kinds of other species and things. So that's basically what I think you can say from the perspective of our project of Metamodernism, which is a mapping exercise, what you can see happening in culture when it comes to empathy. Yes, there is a drive for empathy, but it's a weak impulse, you could say, in culture. And it's getting stronger, but it needs to still find its feet, I would say. And it's about time, because we're moving towards the giant, enormous clusterfuck of world historical proportions, where inequality will be massively rising, where we're moving towards climate disaster, where there are all kinds of fascist overtones. So it's about time that progressive people find the right words and the right pathos, especially for this politics of empathy that is badly needed. Empathy can be a glitch, because our operating system is not geared towards empathy at the moment, you could say. So then it can be a glitch that makes you aware of the system that you're in, basically, which is still massively driven by some kind of neoliberal fantasy about the rational, self-interested subject that leads to harmony and equilibrium. That only thinks of himself, basically, not of other beings. So then it can be a glitch, I would say, yes. You need more glitches in that sense, yeah.